What's good, folks? Dark J19, yo. Welcome back to another What If. And I believe this is What If Deku was Godzilla's reincarnation, part 4. Where we last left off was at the USJ, where Deku pretty much wrecked shit. Left most villains bleeding on the ground, half dead, not half, almost, half dead and stuff. Nobu come in, they have themselves a boxing match and whatever. Then Deku uppercuts that fool and fires an atomic blast. A much more powerful atomic blast. As it just, I guess, throws the Nomu out of the in the sky, whatever, and just straight up kills him. And this atomic blast finally got the attention of the heroes and news reporters or whatever, since Ida didn't go and get some help from the heroes. So yeah. Let's start this story where Deku, who is right now standing in front of a bunch of heroes who are kind of, half of them are like getting on him for fighting a villain without the license or whatever bullshit, while the other half is kind of praising him a little bit, praising him and all that, and especially All Might praising him when he found out from injured Aizawa, that the hand dude, I don't know if he learned his name or whatever. I'm gonna just say Shigaraki. That when Shigaraki, he didn't even say it, but I'm gonna say that Aizawa. But he said it to Aizawa that this creature was meant to kill All Might, and All Might hearing that and the fact that Izuku was able to defeat it and pretty much undamaged besides his clothes. His clothes was wrecked, but everything else is fine. All Might, he just finds this impressive, but he can't really praise Deku, say anything right now, since news reporters who saw the atomic blast has been bum rushing our boy Deku, who he's not used to this. All these cameras and flashes and whatnot. As this kid's one of the news reporters like, "Kid, what's your quirk? How did you feel during the fight? How did you feel during the fight? Do you plan on being a hero and whatever?" Dumbass questions like that. Niggas like, "Of course I'm planning on being the hero. What the fuck am I doing here? I'm not." But that's besides the point. Most of Class A who saw the fight are also kind of praising Deku. Well, not all of them. Todoroki and Bakugo are not doing it. They're just Bakugo. He's jealous at the fact that Deku pretty much got to face the ultimate weapon. Well, as you can say, like the final boss of the USJ. I don't know, think of it as a game or some shit. And the Nomu is the final boss of the USJ level, some dumb shit like that. And Deku got to fight him before Bakugo can. And Todoroki, who saw that extremely powerful blast, that blasted a Nomu into space or whatever, feels that he's gonna need a lot more training if he's ever gonna finally beat Deku and take Mothra for himself. And speaking of Mothra, as she would fly straight to Deku, cause she also saw the atomic blast, as would land right in front of him, kind of checking him for if there's like any injuries or whatever, because his clothes is all messed up. But you know, she smiled at him since she saw nothing, as she was saying, it seems that I might carry a few extra shirts if you're gonna keep doing this, Izuku. As Deku is, you know, he's a little embarrassed. Not too embarrassed. He's not really showing it, but in his head he's like, this is annoying. Kind of hero just has to keep wrecking his own clothing, you know. But it ain't really in his fault. He's not in his super suit, so his regular clothing cannot handle his power. But that's besides the. But yeah, as that was happening, most of the girls who were seeing this they're pretty jealous, especially Momo. Most of the. Listen, the reason why I think I already explained this in part 2, but they feel that they just feel that that Mothra is just in the way, and that most of them can't, you know, have Deku. And most of the girls like, if Deku were to choose Mothra over them, you know, it's all right, because, you know, that's his choice. It's his choice in the end. So that's how most of the girls think, except Momo, actually. Except Momo. Yeah, and I'm gonna show y'all like, why you making Momo like this, huh? Well, maybe I don't want to use Ochako like every other what-ifer out there, you know? I'm not making Momo some kind of a, you know, bitch or anything like that. I'm not doing that. But, you know, it's more possessive, you know? Like, the second she laid her eyes on Deku, she automatically thought that, you know, he's mine. You know? Rich girl perspective, if you think of it that way. But that's how it is. The girls are pretty jealous, but they know they will allow Deku to choose in the end, except Momo. So yeah, after everything was settled, all the villains who are not fucked up are arrested, while the villains who are, you know, broken are pretty much sent to the hospital or something, or the jail hospital. You know how jails have their own little hospital things. I don't think they have, like, you know, top tier hospital doing like surgeries and all that crap, but whatever. I mean, they're going to Tartarus, and I would think, you know, Tartarus would have some high class medical type shit. Whatever. I mean, who cares? Fuck them. I mean, fuck them. Who cares? Whatever. Who cares what happens to them? Why am I even talking to them? Talk about them. They're going to Tartarus. Whatever. screw them. They're fodder. They're fodder villains and nobody cares. So yeah, the fodder villains are gone. Mostly folks praised Deku. News reporters finally get out of his face. And he gets another shirt. As Deku finally, as the USJ ends, Deku finally makes it home. As Inko is the first one there, running down the stairs and, tackle hugs Deku. But, it doesn't really push him down the floor because he's strong as hell. As she was very worried for our young man Deku because, from what she heard on the news and seeing how messed up his clothing were, she was worried because the cameras wasn't close enough to see whether he was injured or not. So as the news reporters, were recording him, whatever, she was, watching it, kind of tapping her feet, as the dad was just kind of like chilling there, drinking whatever, no care in the world because he knows his son's not invincible, but he knows who can actually stand against his son, and none of these people with quirks will, actually stand a chance. Maybe he might think All Might could stand against him, but they're both heroes, so there's no reason to think that way, So yeah, as Deku, he's just patting Inko on the head, trying to calm his mother down, as she was just so worried, and as beginning to check Deku for injuries or whatever, just like Mothra, but a little bit more frantic than how Mothra did it. And she was happy to see that he was okay. As the husband comes in, it's like, see, I told you the boy was fine. As Inko kind of walks up to her husband with a pouty face, saying, "You need to stop thinking that our son's invincible. He could get killed, If he's not paying attention, he could just get killed or something, anything really." As the husband's like, "Please, I doubt any of those villains will be able to kill Izuku. Trust me on this one, Inko." As they have their little petty argument. Not so petty, but it's more Inko pouting and the husband kind of, chuckling to himself because he knows that while they don't. But that's besides the point, as even though he knows, he has been contemplating to himself that he should tell Izuku what he is or not, because from the description of what the news said and how powerful that atomic blast was, and the fact that it shot the Nomu into the sky, it just has him wondering whether he should tell his son the truth of what he is, because he knows Izuku is eventually going to question him at the fact that how come he has none of his parents' powers, nor his grandparents, and the fact that their powers don't match his at all. He knows for a fact Deku will eventually question him with all that crap, but he just decides to keep this information to himself as Inko brings Deku into the dining room or whatever for dinner to celebrate his win on defeating his first villain. From what she thinks, that's his first villain, because she has no idea about the slime villain that he murdered. And of course, he's not gonna, as much as he wants to get rid of villains in the USJ, he's not trying to have these annoying problems of the Hero Society getting onto him for killing the villains, even though they deserve death. So yeah, if y'all were ever wondering why he didn't kill those villains at the USJ, you know, that's it. Besides the Nomu, I mean, he had no idea whether the Nomu was alive or not. He was just way too into the fight and just straight up destroyed him. And he really had that trigger with the monster joint I already mentioned. He was triggered from seeing the Nomu, thinking it's like another monster, kaiju or whatever, even though he would have no idea what that is. It's just, you know, his Godzilla instincts. But yeah, let's go to the next day, because I've been explaining as much as everyone in Class A is kind of talking about you know, the USJ and how epic it was. How epic is when folks are counting like how many villains they whooped or whatever. They don't try to count Izuku because they know for a fact that he got the most, so it wouldn't really be a competition. As Bakugo would you know, kind of butt in saying, like hell that blue hair freak got more than me. Had more than me. As Froppy kind of points out, saying that well, me and Mineta were there the whole time when Izuku was fighting the villains, and from what we saw, I think Izuku got the most. As this, you know, kind of irritates Deku. I mean, not Deku. This irritates Bakugo, as he kind of wants to, you know, swing on Froppy, but Deku is standing right there, and he knows for a fact that Deku won't allow shit like that to happen while he's around, you know? But that's besides the point. As you know, this little conversation would be happening, and Todoroki, who would be in like a little corner by himself, because you know that's how he is. That's how he is, emo and all that shit, would kind of be staring daggers at Deku. While Momo is kind of staring daggers at Mothra, because Mothra has taken the seat next to Deku once again. You know? She's always there in Momo's way. And she can never have any time to herself with Deku. And she feels that Mothra is kind of doing this on purpose. And Mothra, she really isn't. She's It's kind of clueless, not stupid, but kind of clueless and a little bit too, innocent in a way, She kind of got that Goku innocence. Not his stupidity, but innocence. Dragon Ball Z Goku innocence. Not Dragon Ball Super retarded Goku. But moving on with the innocence and crap. Aizawa comes in as, broken arm and whatever. As he begins to, get this shit off my screen. No, go away. As he begins to speak about the sports festival. As he explains that this is gonna be your guys' way to finally put yourselves out there, since someone over there kind of took most of the shine away from y'all at the USJ, pointing at Deku. That's Deku. He's just sitting in his chair, eyes closed, and, arms crossed as he's just listening. But yeah. Ito would kind of question this on why we would have the sports festival already after what happened. As I always would say that, well, we need to show the media that we have this under wraps and that we're not afraid any villains and all. And I'm going to be honest, Nezu did try to postpone it a little bit, but the media kind of got on their case because they wanted to see a certain someone right away. As he points at Deku once again. Bako, he is just furious with all the attention Deku is getting, but he holds all this to himself as he just thinks about at the fact that all those folks wants to see Deku, and so wouldn't it be great to beat the crap out of Deku in front of the whole world, humiliating him and showing that I'm the strongest, and eventually all the attention will be on me, the next #1 hero. As he would just think this to himself, not really saying this out loud. And how Deku feels about this? Well, he's just interested. But not too interested, because he doesn't think that anyone at the sports festival will ever be as strong as that Nomu that gave him, true fun. He never had that much fun in a while, besides the entrance exam when he got to fight all those robots. But yeah, after explaining all that, class would finally be over, as all of Class A would try to, leave, but all the other classes will be standing there right in front, as they already know about the, sports festival and that Class A is on top. So they would, try to, scared of competition, as you say. As most of them have already heard about Deku's feats and what he did and how he defeated a main villain at the USJ. As most of them would actually be staring at Deku, trying to intimidate him, and Deku feeling all this kind of pressure on him, would finally open his eyes, because for some reason he would have his eyes closed the whole time, even as he's walking to the door leaving. But yeah, he would finally open his eyes as his yellow eyes would flash a glowing aura, kind of scaring most of them. As Deku says, "What the hell are all y'all?" Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. But he's like, "What the hell are all y'all doing in front of our classes?" As somebody would say that we're just here sporting out the competition, Competition? The hell are you talking about? The sports festival. You already know about that, right? As Deku says, it's like, of course I do. But that doesn't answer my question on why the hell are you guys here? As somebody's like, we just told you. Huh? So, competition. And you guys actually think you're gonna be competition for me? Is that really what y'all want? Because Deku, he's saying that, he's not the type to, boast about his strength, but he is kind of irritated as he just want to go home, and there's just so many people in front of his class in his way, kind of in front of his class, and they're in his way. And he knows he can't fight in school, so he's trying to just hold himself. And while he's doing that, Shinso would, come in as he would, complain, saying that, oh, so the Class A king doesn't want to speak to us fellow peasants, huh? As he would stare daggers at Deku. As Deku's saying, wouldn't you be annoyed if a bunch of people that you don't know is just standing right in front of your classroom while you're trying to get home? As Shinso would see that this is kind of getting on his nerves. And then he would look what's next to Deku, as he sees Mothra, who's trying to calm Deku down. That she have one of her arms wrapped around his arm, and patting him on the shoulder, some shit like that, trying to calm him down. And Shinso, seeing that, seeing how that they might be kind of close, he would try to flirt with Mothra right in front of Deku. And as he's doing that, as he's doing that, he would look towards Deku as he sees that Deku, he doesn't care. He's not really paying any attention to Shinso. He's paying more attention to the folks who are in his way. And he sees that his flirtatious ways isn't really getting to Martha. I don't think Shinso has really a flirtatious way. I'm just saying that. But yeah, he sees how it's not really getting to Martha, as she would only kind of look at Shinso with a confused look. And, it's just, she's innocent. And that really only angers Shinso. As he just believes that this is Deku's doing, because he's class A and he's on top and he has an amazing power. So, it's all his fault. Oh, he's born with amazing power. Oh, he's clearly a bad, horrible person. Fuck you, Shinso. But yeah. He just targets Deku for, no apparent reason. As he's like, oh, okay. I see how it is. Alright. Just wait what happens at the sports festival. Just wait. As he wants to, humiliate Deku with his mind control joint. But yeah. Shinso would leave or whatever. And Deku would, tired of dealing with this, would just push through the crowd with Martha following right behind. And as they are like in front of the school, Martha would actually confess to Deku that she actually won't be competing in the sports festival. I bet y'all thought something else when I said confess. But, don't worry. We'll get there soon, They only have like this puppy love relationship, but eventually they'll get to a proper relationship. But that's besides the point. As Deku, he would ask Martha why. How come you're not going to be there? As she would explain that she needs to, she says like it's sort of private, but it has something to do with her parents, her two mothers or whatever. But yeah, she just won't be competing in the sports festival. But yeah, hang on for a sec. I'm gonna pause this real quick. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, Martha, she won't be entering the sports festival, and that's not really going to affect her getting in a hero agency, because she's not gonna be in a hero agency, and neither is Deku. And I think if any of y'all been paying attention to any of the other parts, you would probably know why they're not gonna join the agency. you know. But yeah, Deku would understand this and, you know, pat Mothra on the head. You know, she smiles, then flies away. As she would say that, well, you know, before she, you know, as she's flying away, she would say that she'll be watching, you know, she'll be watching, as we know she'll be watching the sports festival. And I'm gonna say Momo would actually kind of hear this and hear that at the fact that Mothra will be away for a while, as she would take this opportunity to get close to Deku. As she would, you know, come out of the corner, you could say, and ask and say, you know, walk up to Deku's like, "Hey, Izuku, as she would, you know, kind of stumble on her words, saying that, well, the sports festival happening in the week. I was wondering if you wanted to train and all." As Deku would just, you know, kind of look at Momo and just, you know, say, "Well, actually, Momo, that's probably not gonna happen. Not the fact that I don't want to train with you, it's the fact that where my training is gonna be, you can't be there. It's not the fact that I don't want you to be there. It's just, you know, you won't be able to stay there for long. So yeah, I have no choice but to decline your offer of training, you know." And Momo, and as, you know, Deku would walk away, Momo would kind of get pissed and get a little pissed and just say, "What does she have?" As Deku would be like, "Huh? What?" I said, "What does she have that I don't?" "What do you mean? The hell do you mean, Momo?" "Mothra. What does she have that I don't?" I mean, look at me. I'm clearly better looking than the bug girl. I have a bigger bust. I'm rich. Like, I'm the whole package, Deku. I'm the whole package, Izuku. This could be all yours. Get your attention is all over her. Is it a damn butterfly wings? Like, what the hell? What does she have that I don't?" As Deku would, he wouldn't, you know, he wouldn't be irritated or angry and all. He'd be on that meh. You know, that meh face. We know that face. It's like you're kind of irritated, but you can mostly care less. As Deku would just, you know, scratch his head, saying, "Well, I mean, it's just, well, I don't really know, Momo. It's not that I don't do and all. It's just the fact that, you know, I don't Well, it's just, I don't know. It's just different with Mothra. I don't know why. I don't talk to anyone besides my parents. I would always keep to myself, and anyone who would, bother me in any way would get their ass whooped. But when I met Mothra, it's just, it was different. It was different. I don't know why, but it's just different, Momo. And honestly, the way you pointed out, I could care less about chest size or how much money a girl would have, those things don't appeal to me at all, or even looks, or the fact that she's a bug girl, it's just, those things don't appeal to me, Momo. So yeah, as he would, kind of look towards his watch as he's saying, yeah, I don't got time for this, Momo. I gotta bounce. As he would, make his way from school, as Momo would kind of clench her fists, saying that bug bitch will not take Deku away from me. I swear he will be mine. As she would, walk to her limo or whatever. Sorry. But yeah. As Deku, he was just, be walking, as he would call his parents. As his father picks up the phone saying, yeah, it's like, Dad, I called you first so I don't have to get yelled at by Mom. You will. What do you mean by that? I mean that I'm going to be spending the whole week in a special place, you could say, for my training. So I will be gone from home for a week, and I called you so you can explain that to me instead of me explaining that to her. Because I know for a fact that if I told her, she will be crying and sad and all. But if you told her, she'll just be, kind of pissed. So, yeah. Bye. I see Deku would just hang up. And the dad would kind of, be pissed and all, saying, guys, Inko would come in and saying, what was that? And it's like, it's Izuku. And he said that, as they go be like, what? And he said that he's going to be spending a week at a friend's house. To do some studying or training for the sports festival. So, yeah, trying to, kind of lighten this thing, because he doesn't know. Well, Deku thinks that he doesn't know where he's going, but we already know that the dad kind of has an idea where Godzilla would chill, And Inko, hearing this, seeing that Deku would be staying at a friend's house and not be someplace that the dad doesn't know, and, accepts this. And he's like, oh, well, okay. He could have at least called and told me. I don't know why he called you first. Like, she, kind of cross her arms and look away. So Dad is like, don't be like that. I'm sure the boy loves you the most. You the most. I think it's like, damn right he does. But yeah. Deku would just be in the same place as he were last time when he got real tired. That deep, dark trench in the ocean where not even submarines would survive. Because we already know, I don't know, I'm sure some of y'all know, but that as you go down into the ocean, the pressure just gets stronger and stronger. Where even the most powerful, most strongest submarines can barely go down there without getting a window crack. You know what I'm saying? But Deku can. This pressure is nothing. He can easily take it. As he finally get to his sweet spot in the trench, and he just falls asleep. So yeah, not really training, just sleeping inside of a trench that has a lot of radiation for him to absorb, which is something he also wants to question, that he doesn't know many quirks that has something to do with radiation. So he kind of thinks his quirk is just unique, but he still just kind of questions it in his head. But for now, he's just sleeping as the week goes by. As the week goes by, Deku would leave the ocean. He still looked the same, but the only thing changed is that his hair got a bit longer, and that's it. So yeah, he heads home. His mom sees that he's covered in seaweed and moss or whatever and wet and all. She would question it, then she would question her husband, not the fact that he was at their friend's house, but yet he smells like ocean water and all, and all that jazz would happen as it's sports festival time. Yes. As everyone is there and all. Akko is just staring right at Deku, kind of smiling to himself as he feels that this week training has truly paid off, and now he's finally gonna beat Deku's ass. As what's her name? Midnight would call up Deku to do the little speech thing, as Deku would kind of make his way up there, as as the crowd would cheer and all, as the crowd would cheer a hell of a lot louder, as this kind of irritates class 1B and the support course or whatever the fuck, because they feel like they getting screwed over here because of how they felt when President Mike was, announcing the classes and all, and how the crowd cheered hella hard for Class A, but but when it got to Class B and the support chorus, it was like, yeah. But yeah, Deku would be standing there in front of the microphone. Midnight would, kind of be looking at Deku, as she would say, "If only I was a bit younger." But that's besides the point, as Deku, he wasn't really expecting to actually be making a speech, so he just kind of stands there a little bit with his eyes closed, as everybody, the crowd, watches with excitement, wondering what he's about to say. And Mothra, who is watching with her two mothers, are also watching from their their TV or whatever. I don't know, big flat screen, whatever shit. They're rich, and I would imagine them being rich because they're cult leaders. And well, no, Godzilla, that's a cult. Well, they're more of religious type worshippers. One side, the Mothra side, is more tribal, Native American type shit, while the other ones are like, while the Godzilla guys are like hooded Cthulhu Satan worshippers. You know what I'm saying? those type of people I'm talking about. Basically a cult. But that's, besides the point, as Deku finally opens his eyes, as he kind of taps the microphone saying, is this thing on? Oh, alright. I hope you guys are, happy with the silver medal, because the golden one is going to me. That's it. As he would just walk off the stage. Well, not walk up. Well, not even walk up the stage. He would actually, he'd be walking away, but then he would turn back, grabbing the mic again, saying, "Oh, and another thing, real quick. You're not gonna beat me." As he would actually stare in the direction of Class A. As everybody kind of wonders, if he has a problem with Class A, but we know for a fact that he's staring mostly at Todoroki. But yeah, that would be his speech as he would walk away. The support in the Class B would, kind of boo him or whatever, saying how Class A is so selfish and whatever and all that. How they only think of themselves, as the crowd would, be wilding out because, that was a crazy ass. It wasn't really much of a speech, but the fact that kid was able to just walk up there and say that, I'm gonna win this, and that takes a lot of, that takes a lot of guts right there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Deku to walk off the stage as, Ochako would kind of confront him, saying, Deku, don't you think that was, a bit much with the speech and all? As Deku would say, nah, Ochako, I needed to make something like that because I'm going to win this no matter what, especially from what I've learned from Maka, because she's informed me of a deal that she was forced to make with Todoroki. As Ochako will, be confused about this, like, what do you mean? As Deku be like, don't worry your sweet little head about it. The first round is about to start, so let's pay more attention to that. As Midnight would, spin the little thing or whatever, the wheel, whatever the fuck, as it would land on the race. As she would announce that, okay, first round would be the obstacle course. As everyone would get to the starting line. And all. As Midnight would say, start! And as everyone starts, Todoroki would automatically begin to try and freeze the floor, as some folks would kind of get frozen. Well, some folks around Deku, because he was mostly aiming at Deku, but Deku, he just barrels through the ice. It does nothing as he begins to start running. As he would say, don't even think that you're gonna stop me, Todoroki. We already know I'm the second fastest person in class. You can't beat me. As he, as Deku is just on his sprint, and Todoroki, Bakugo, and them, they just try to catch up. As Bakugo, he's just straight up using, one for all. I don't give a fuck how much percent he's using. I don't really understand one for all that much. Haven't watched My Hero in a while, but I know there's a new season out. But that's besides the point. As Deku is just running. Todoroki firing, item trying to slow him down, but it does nothing. As Bakugo, he's mostly paying attention to himself, trying to pass Deku as he's using explosion fueled one for alls to speed up, but it's just not getting to Deku. As Deku is just jumping over gaps and all, dodging a bunch of obstacles as I don't know which came first, the mines or zero. I mean, who cares? But yeah, as the mines would be there, as President Mike is like, wow, check out this kid's speed. Isn't it amazing? This is one of your students, Aizawa? And as I was like, yeah, that's Suzuki Midoriya, the kid with the strange quirk that he refuses to tell anybody about. From what I've seen, it looks as if he has multiple quirks, but I'm not sure. Because for some reason I can't turn it off. As President Mike would kind of find this, a bit shocking, as like, your quirk doesn't work on his at all. It's like, nah, it just doesn't work. As President Mike would just, find this impressive. As Deku would be reaching the mines, and the crowd wonders whether he might jump over it. Nope, he just barrels through it as he just, runs through the explosions. As the explosions pretty much fuck up his shirt once again. That man cannot protect his shirt. As he's just running easily. The crowd is just going wild. Bakugo's just getting more pissed. More pissed as he's just forcing more of One for All. One for All trying to catch up. And then it gets at a point where Deku's at the 0 pointers. And they try to, get in his way, try to smash him. But nope. As Deku was just, running and all. He's just like, whoop, 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 as it, begins to charge up. And when his hair is all spiky, he just fires an atomic blast as he's running. As he just straight up destroys 2 0 pointers. 0 pointers, kind of cutting them in half, as you could say. As the crowd is they're just loving this. Loving how crazy this kid's power is. That's what the world of My Hero loves. They love power. And eventually, as they are running, and Todoroki and Bakugo are kind of neck and neck, but Bakugo is a bit further than Todoroki with the help of One for All. Eventually, they would get to the finish line, and Deku would be first. Bakugo would be second, and Todoroki would be in third. As this would, really piss off Todoroki, as he's trying to win all of this so he can have Mothra to himself. But yeah, but he knows the deal he made with Mothra, so this doesn't count. As he said that if he beats Deku in a fight, then Mothra will be his. So yeah, this loss doesn't really count. As everybody is, cheering Deku, just saying Midoriya, and all that crap. As Deku is just, looking at his crowd, feeling like a king, like a Spartan gladiator, saying, "Are you not entertained?" Just enjoying himself. Because, even though he's not fighting strong enemies, he is competing into like a sport. And not just any type of sport, the sports festival, which in the My Hero universe, I think is like bigger than the Olympics. So he knows how important this thing is. And the fact that he's winning this and the influence he'll have if he gets number 1. So he's just enjoying himself. As All Might, he is paying more attention to Bakugo, but he likes the fact that Deku won, so he's smiling at that. And the heroes who are next to All Might, who are with All Might, and as they see in All Might's direction, seeing him smiling at the kid who won his first place, would just be like, huh. It seems that it seems that All Might is paying more, seems to be favoring that spiky blue-haired kid. As those heroes would pay a bit more attention to Izuku also. As everybody else would finally cross the line, as the next thing would be the cavalry battle, and Midnight would hand Deku the 1,000,000 points headband, as he would put it on, and almost everybody would be kind of staring at him, eyeing him up, trying to intimidate him. As Deku's like, oh, so I see how it is. As he would, walk up to Midnight saying, is it possible that I can be on a team by myself in this cavalry battle thing? As the crowd hearing that, they just go wild. While, as Midnight saying, wait, no, we can't allow that. But can we? As she would, kind of call Nezu, who runs this shit, as she would, say that, can the kid be on the team by himself? As Nezu would be like, well, technically, no, he cannot be on the team by himself, but we can't really argue with the crowd. See how excited they are. So let the kid be on the team by himself. I wonder what he's gonna do. As Midnight, hang up the phone, be like, well, okay, kid. Guess you're on the team by yourself. As the rest of the students would be, some of them would be kind of, happy at this because they feel that this is easy pickings because he's by himself. While most of them would be like, this dude's so arrogant. By himself? Does he really think he's that Mr. High and Mighty and all that jazz? As this just pissed them off. As everybody else would finally get their teams and whatever and get their whack ass headbands. As the cavalry battle would start, and almost everybody, not everybody, but most of the fodder students would charge Deku. As Deku, he wouldn't really Madara these guys because he's not really agile. He's not as agile as Madara, but he would straight up, he'd just be one hitting these fools. As folks would charge him, he would just punch one in his stomach. They would go flying back, hitting their team. He would sweep one's leg and then elbow that fool. Elbow off one other person would come in, uppercut him, grab his headband to just throw it at some random team. Trying to be as non-lethal as possible because these aren't villains. These are his fellow students, and he's not trying to put them in a hospital. And most of them haven't really pissed him off in a bad way, so there's no reason to hurt them that bad. You know what I'm saying? Just put them on the ground at least. Tire them out, as you could say. As one girl would try to sneak on him, but that as he would dodge her and just net chop her, just knocking her out, and then grabbing her and throwing her to her team. And as Bakugo would kind of charge in, leaving his team behind, as he would throw an explosion, saying, "Deku, die!" as he was throw the explosion, but Deku went out, kind of jump over the charging Bakugo. As while he's like jumping over him, right, he would kind of grab him from behind while he was still in the air, then kind of throw him across the field as he would bounce off and hit a wall. As the crowd is just loving this one-man army just taking on a whole bunch of students. As time would go by, no one was able to get his headband as the timer would ring, and Deku would still have his 1 million headband and be the winner of the cavalry battle. And during that cavalry battle, Todoroki wouldn't do anything to Deku because he just wants to save up his energy from using most of it at the race. So yeah, Deku wins the race and the cavalry battle, as Midnight would spin the little thing or whatever the hell. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, you spin the little whatever crap thing as it would land on the final battle, whatever joint. The fighting. I don't know. I don't remember how they put it. But just to fight, the tournament. I'm gonna call it the tournament, and just move on. As the first round, I believe, is Deku versus Shinso. As Midnight would call both of them to the ring. Shinso was just walk up there cool and kind of cool and all, because he believes that his plan of using his quirk is just foolproof. As Deku would kind of jump from where he was standing and just land in the ring, cracking, making like a crater or whatever. As the crowd loved this, and Shinso's like, am I supposed to be intimidated? As Deku just stares at Shinso, not even giving him anything. As the match would finally start, and Shinso, he would just be throwing out barrages of insults and whatever, just trying to make Deku say something. As Deku would just, he'd just be walking to Shinso. As Shinso would just, keep throwing, insults, trying to make him respond. As Deku would just keep getting closer and closer, and he would kind of sweat a little bit. As Deku would finally get out of here. The fuck is that? Sorry about that. Deku would, finally be standing in front of Shinso. As Shinso's like, you know what? This is why I hate you. Just show off people. You're just born with these special quirks, and all you do is, as Shinso is just cut off from what he was saying, as he was just smacked from the wink. I mean, he just got bitch slapped. I'll be honest with you. He got bitch slapped out the ring as he goes flying and he crashes into the wall. And the crowd loves this. Because Deku, he ain't here for no sob stories or trying to solve people's dumbass little family problems, any bullshit, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't care. That's not what he's here for. He's here to win. You know? So yeah, Deku wins the first round with Shinso. Now, not really much of a fight. As the next fight would be, Todoroki versus Soro. Or Saru, Tape Boy, whatever the fuck his name is. As Todoroki would just, have that big ass ice spike. Ice just freezing him. Just, kind of embarrassing that fool, to be honest. I mean, that was barely much of a fight. Just straight up freeze him, you know what I'm saying? I'd be mad as hell about Soro, or however you pronounce his name. But yeah, Todoroki wins as the other fights would happen, and we get to Bakugo versus Ochako, and Bakugo, who is just mad at the fact that Deku seems to be getting all this attention, not just getting all this attention from the crowd, but he seems to be paying more attention to Todoroki than him. This, which is, really pissed Bakugo off, as he goes a bit too far during the Ochako fight. As when Ochako was actually out the ring Bakugo would actually charge at the unconscious Ochako, as everybody would kind of freak out seeing this. But then, boom, a big smoke. As boom, the explosion would hit the unconscious or Ochako, but the speed that nobody saw, as Deku would actually land in front of Ochako, you know what I'm saying? Shielding her from the explosion, as he just looks at Bakugo, kind of pissed off. And All Might, who watching this, would be really pissed at this, but he wouldn't be showing this. But in his head, he's like, Bakugo, we are gonna have a really interesting talk when this sports festival thing is over. As Deku would just pick up Ochako and get her to Recovery Girl. So yeah, after leaving Ochako with Recovery Girl, it's time for the next. Midnight will call for the next fight. As it is Deku versus Todoroki. As Todoroki would come in with both his fire and ice, because he's not really, he still has that problems and all, but at this point he hates Izuku more than Endeavor. He hates Izuku more than Endeavor. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, as the both of them would be in the ring staring at each other, as the ice and the fire would be beaming off of Todoroki, as Deku, he would kind of be like how you see on the screen. Because, you know, he was in his little crater as his hair is flowing and the aura is just beaming around him as he's just staring daggers at Todoroki with you know, with rage and all. As Midnight would, you know, just start the match. As Deku would charge Todoroki with amazing speed. And Todoroki would fire a bunch of ice, big ass glaciers, and a hell of a lot of fire. As Deku would just, you know, smash through the ice, and the fire wouldn't do shit to him. As you know, as the fight would go on, as Todoroki would see that it seems that the ice does a bit more than the fire, because you know the fire ain't really doing much to Deku. As Deku would finally get close to dead Todoroki and elbow that fool into an ice wall that Todoroki made behind him, as he would kind of crash through it and sort of be almost out of the ring, but Deku would be like, nah bitch, as he would like snatch him midair to, you know, get him back in the ring, as he would slam him on the floor, then, you know, kind of spin around and slam him again, and then hit him with that dragon throw. Y'all know the dragon throw if y'all played Budokai 3, you know, Goku's grab move, the dragon throw. As Deku would, you know, have his leg Todoroki would, he would bring Todoroki close, knee him in the face, grab his leg, and, you know, kind of start spinning, and then throw him and all. But Todoroki would get his balance as he was using ice wall to make sure he stays in a ring. As he shoots more ice spikes at Deku, and Deku, you know, it just ain't doing shit to him. He just going through the ice easily, just bashing through it, because this is nothing. This ain't nothing. This ain't no. You ain't no art. You ain't the North Pole, bitch. I don't know what I'm saying. As you know, Deku would get in close again, and just uppercut Todoroki. As the crowd is just loving this epic fight, this one-sided epic fight. As Todoroki's like, I am not gonna lose to the likes of you, Deku. As he would charge the fire one hand and his ice in the other, as he keeps charging it and all, and then he fires them both at Deku. As that cement dude would try and put up a wall, but this would do nothing, as the fire and ice would easily go through. But as that was happening, Deku would just be standing there, as he's like, how about I try to use a move that one of my favorite comic book heroes always do. As Deku would like spread his arms, right? And then he would come in, he would bring them both with extreme speed as he claps both his hands, right? He claps both his hands as the force from his clap literally sends shockwaves to the ice and fire coming straight to him, as it literally redirects the ice and fire back to Todoroki, who was not expecting this at all. As he hits himself out the ring. And yeah, Deku wins as Todoroki just injured on the floor as the medics would finally come in to take him away. And while he's being taken away, he just realizes that, he's lost to Deku, and he lost the bet. As this, kind of breaks Todoroki a little bit. So yeah, Deku wins that fight, as the crowd is just loving this, and Mothra, who is watching this, is happy that that Deku won. So yeah, the other fights would finally go on, as we finally get to the finale. Deku versus Bakugo. As Deku would be in the ring, and Bakugo would come in with explosions all over him already, as he would just crack the floor trying to make a crater just like Deku, but bigger, since he wants to use the explosions around him. As he would stare at Deku, saying, it's finally time for me to humiliate you, Zuko. Oh, Zuko. I haven't heard you say that name in a long time, huh? Bakugo. It's like, it'll be the last time you ever hear it. After I finally destroy you in this stupid match. As Midnight, not trying to waste any time, starts the final round, as the two boys would charge each other, clashing in, as they're just throwing fist and all, fist and all. Boom, somebody gets one hit, boom, the other one gets another hit. That's a crowd. It's just watching this amazing fight. Deku just straight up, boom, right hooks Bakugo in the face, but Bakugo eats that, as he comes in with an explosive uppercut. Explosive one for all full field uppercut, as Deku easily eats that, you know what I'm saying? As the fist would still be on Deku's face, but Deku would, kind of be pulling it down with his face, and he kind of headbutts Bakugo's hand, as the pain kind of goes through his arm. It's kind of like how you would hit your elbow on a counter, and that just fucks up your whole nervous system. That's pretty much what happened to Bakugo. It's just like, as this kind of sets him back, and big boots Bakugo in the chest. As it sends him flying, but he recovers with explosion as he just charges in real fast at Deku with an explosive kick and all. As this is kind of like, this is kind of like the One Punch Man versus Saitama versus Genos fight, as Bakugo is just using his explosions to fly and all the ring real fast, as Deku is just easily dodging, or the ones he's not able to dodge, he just tanks them easily, as this just pisses off Bakugo even more. It's like, why won't you just die? Just die already, you stupid Zuko fucking piece of garbage, Deku. As he will, form a huge what's that shit called? Impact, whatever joint. Whatever, I don't know. His impact grenade shit. I don't know. As he would form that into his hand and then fire it with the one for all. As the huge explosion straight up makes a crater, like a huge crater into the ring, as the smoke would clear, and Deku would just be standing there, his clothes all fucked up, but no damages on him, as this just really pisses off Bakugo. As he's like, it just starts rapid fire shooting explosions, just shooting a bunch of explosions, rapid fire. As it's like, why won't you die? As in the rapid fire explosion, Deku would just be walking out of it, as he just boom punches Bakugo straight in the face, as he goes sliding on the floor. And then, as Bakugo tries to recover, Deku would just be standing there in front of Bakugo, as he grabs Bakugo's hair, pulling him up, kind of like how Vegeta had Goku Black in their rematch fight. Just picking up his head from his hair, and then Deku just headbutts him a little bit, and then punches him in the chest, kind of sliding him forward at the edge of the ring. And then when Bakugo tries to shoot another explosion while Deku is charging at him, he fires another explosion, but Deku easily jumps over it, and then he hits him with the all famous Godzilla dropkick. Boom! Right in the chest, as Bakugo just was sent flying. Boom! Crash into the wall, as Deku lands into the ring and pretty much, wins. As the crowd goes wild. President Mike announces that Izuku Midoriya wins the entire sports festival like he said he would. As Class A, as Class A, who didn't have to fight Izuku, would be cheering for him, and Bakugo would be taken to Recovery Girl, and it's just how it goes. As time would go by, the other two would finally recovered, as they would get on their, as they would, be announced as, be like, not President Mike, Midnight would be like, third place, Shoto Todoroki, and all that. And second place, Koski Bakugo, as he would get on his second place thing, irritated. And then first place, Izuku Midoriya, as our boy Deku would get on his little pedestal thing, and he's like, now to the man who's gonna give out the medals, the one and only, our number one hero, All Might. As All Might, would come into the ring, as he would, superhero land as he's holding the medals. And then he first goes to Todoroki, third place, like, Todoroki, you've done quite well in the battle between young Izuku. But it seems that during the whole race and the cavalry battle, you paid more attention to him than yourself. So that's something you need to work on that. But besides all that, good job. And then as he's like, goes to Bakugo, I was like, Bakugo, you have a similar problem with Todoroki. But besides all that, you've done quite well in the fight. As he just, gives a second place medal to Bakugo. And then he moves on to Izuku. It's like, young Midoriya, it seems that you are a man who could keep their word, as you are in first place and the winner of the sports festival. During the race, you were an unstoppable brute, a monster, a runaway train that no one can stop. And during the cavalry battle, even though I believe you still should have had a team, you've done quite well by yourself. And you came out unscathed. And then, during the battles, it seems that none of your opponents could even stand a chance. You will make a great future hero. I believe that. As he would, give Deku the first place medal. And then, the crowd would cheer, Midoriya, and all that crap, and, the sports festival would be, finished. Would be finished. And we already know the villains would be watching this, and All For One would be, staring at, Deku through the TV, as he feels that he sees that, those powers that Deku have seems familiar. But that's besides the point. As the sports festival is over, and I think I'm going to end this. I wonder how long I've been recording, but that's besides the point. Because thank you for listening and all. The next What If will be a new one. And if y'all been paying attention to the community tab, you should know what it's going to be. So, besides all that, thank you for listening, good folks, and goodbye.